So I would say more often than not, people have their own opinions about what chili should be. Everyone is very particular. Hi, my name is Jordan Robarge, and I'm the owner of Revival Chili. So I had actually never worked in the food industry before deciding to start my own food truck. When I graduated college, there was a chili recipe for my fraternity that we made in large batches, and I decided I wanted to start catering different events and doing things mostly for friends and family. The reason for Revival is, so I was arrested and convicted of underage drinking when I was 19, and in college I didn't really think anything of it at the time, but it actually prevented me from getting a single job offer coming out of college. A lot of my colleagues went into consulting. I'm a systems engineer by degree, so a lot of them went into consulting, and background checks were run, and I didn't receive any job offers. Being a white male from a relatively good upbringing, kind of that really impacted me in a way of like opening my eyes to the problems of the world, what other people experience, and what's going on. So with the word revival, I wanted to help revive people's lives. When I started the food truck, it was specifically employing those that have spent time in jail, so returning citizens. And now we own a restaurant. When I bought the restaurant, it was expanded to anyone with barriers to employment.
So once you decide to start a food truck, what are the steps that get you to the point where you make your first sale?
A lot. So generally the steps are, you need to decide basic questions. Do I want a truck or a trailer? Am I gonna try to do the build out myself, or do I wanna hire somebody? Am I gonna want you to buy used equipment? Am I wanna buy all brand new equipment? Like, where is that gonna get shipped from? How much time do I have? And that's not to say, obviously, your menu is gonna really impact what equipment you need, your branding, what do you want the name to be? All of those different things go into, just the build out of the truck alone. Most events that we do only require one individual. I love my staff. They're absolutely wonderful, and that's another really big thing of why I started and what I'm trying to do with the food truck. They are responsible for everything. This one person, they show up, as I said, get the chilies, cooking, cut up the toppings, do the entire event themselves, and clean up at the end. Generally. On busier events, we do often in time incorporate a second person, but with that, I designed the menu to be very efficient. As I said, I'm an engineer, so I was thinking about the menu and the equipment needed. I wanted it to be super fast service, scoop and serve, similar to like a Chipotle model. So generally, inside we'll set it up. We have our rice cornbread that's right behind you when you're serving. As we're getting the order, I'm already doing what needs to be done. Oh, you're interested? Okay, so you would like a classic bowl of chili, and already putting the cornbread in the bowl so I can say, yeah, okay, I'm scooping the chili in, and you would like the cheese, sour cream, and chips on top. So really trying to achieve multiple things at once, especially at busy events with one person. You gotta move fast. So you're trying to talk with the customer and make their order all at the same time, so that by the time they're done placing their order, it's more or less already ready, taking their payment, and they're good to go. So we have 4 different types of chili: vegan, classic beef, spicy chicken, and spicy beef and pork. So I wanted to cover most dietary restrictions with the chili, which we do. The chili is gluten-free, no eggs, no dairy, nothing else in the chili. And then obviously we have the vegan option. And then the vegan and the classic are both low levels of spice. Chicken is like our medium, and the beef and pork is our spiciest one. What really goes into making a good chili, which I tell people, is pre-cooking your ingredients before you combine it together. So a lot of people will be like, oh, I got a crock pot, I'll throw in some raw beef and can of tomatoes, veggies, whatever, and I'll let it sit for 8 hours. Like, that's not gonna make a good chili.
So take us through a day. Today you're out on site. What time do you start? What are you doing on? Kind of take us through step by step through to your day.
Yeah, absolutely. Very quickly, since when I started the food truck, as I said, I'm an engineer, so I developed checklists for everything that's needed to kind of make you have to not think about the process as much. because it can be a long day. Like, yes, we go out to an event for 3 or 4 hours, but there's obviously the time before and the cleanup time after. So generally speaking, we'll show up. I recommend to my employees and myself to show up 2.5 hours before you must leave for the event. So that means identifying how far the event is from our home base. We do have a restaurant over in Wilkinsburg, which is on the east end of the city. So how long does it take to get there? Show up 2.5 hours beforehand. That gives you time to put the chilies in the oven or the warmers, to heat up the chilies, or cook a new pot if we have to cook a new pot of chili. That gives enough time to kind of get all those things done. Then you want to make sure we're prepped on toppings and rice and cornbread. So we make the cornbread and rice every single day. And the chili is served, I didn't mention that before. Chili is served over rice or cornbread with your choice of toppings, including cheese, sour cream, lime, cilantro, and jalapenos. So chopping up the toppings, prepping the rice and cornbread, and then doing any prep work for future chili. Service is the funnest part, in my opinion. You're interacting with the individuals, seeing those smiles from the good food, and then clean up and get back to the restaurant, wash all the dishes. Even with a 3 to 4 hour event, your day is 7 to 8 hours long, which is why it's very important that we try and get the prep work done during some of the downtime in that 7 to 8 hours, so we don't have longer 10, 12 hour days like is frequent in the food service industry.
What's something that you know now that you didn't know when you first started this that you wish you did?
It's a lot of work, but it takes a lot longer to get to where you want to be than you might think. I knew that I didn't want to be running on my food truck within the day-to-day operation for an extremely long period of time, because I wanted to build the business that I've described and really empowering employees and getting to the point of ownership, and that they can control their destiny and use this business to do that. And it's not until more or less this year with the restaurant and the food trucks, so about 7 years, that I've been able to get to the point of achieving that. And that's not, I've enjoyed everything along the way, but it takes a lot of, no one is ever gonna care about your business as much as you do. And it takes a long time to kind of build it to the point, if it is something that you really do care about, to have others kind of train others and empower them and give them the opportunities, and also get the buy-in from, they have to want to do that as well. Just because you want it to happen doesn't mean that somebody else is gonna want to do it, right?